Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. King and I Life podcast. Me, so touch support, and my brother.
Son Soul Lex.
Yo, we're gonna be chopping up about Black History Month, and I know this conversation is gonna go down a winding road, but we gonna try to. Hey, it's just a conversation, so we just gonna have it.
Yeah, man.
Wherever
Yeah.
it goes. But the base of this is Black History Month, and of course, it branches off into a whole bunch of lot thoughts, feelings, and theories, and so on and so forth. But hey, you know how to get at us, so we're gonna get right back into it. So, what were you saying before we took that little break?
I was just simply saying that other cultures have contributed to our society, but yet and still some of them don't get a celebration month. And I'm just curious to know why.
All right, my theory, because again,
Okay.
I wasn't back there when Carter G. Woodson and I can't remember who else, when Carter G. Woodson decided to, hey, we need celebrate our people. Um I'm gonna look at it like this, and this is just my thought. If you look at what we classify as white people or Caucasians,
Mm-hmm.
their claim to fame from a historical standpoint would be, hey, we discovered this country. We conquered a new land. We settled this. We did this. We did that. I don't. When you look at it from that point of view, they don't need a goddamn month, because if you look at it from that aspect of it, they found the new world. Why do they need a month? I mean,
There were some trailblazers of one thing.
it was some trailblazers, and they get their props, like Lewis and Clark. They get their props. Who else? Davy Crockett gets his props. General Custer gets his props. The Jokers at the Alamo, they get their props. Um, hell, John Wayne gets his props. Elvis gets his props. Hell, Elvis has every goddamn day. Um, but on the real, when I look at it like that, if you look at the advancements that our people have contributed to this country, they have been great in comparison to a lot of things that have um, been brought forth. Um, a lot of the inventions of our people, or inventions and accomplishments that our people have made, have changed the course of this nation drastically. And it can't be understated in any way. I, and yes, a lot of other, cultures, races, or whatever have contributed greatly. But if like the traffic light, for one thing, the cotton gin, everything that Booker T. Washington invented, um, it's, to me, it just pales in comparison.
Mm. So the traffic light, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's take that for example. The man who actually invented that, he died broke, right?
Mm-hmm.
So still to this day, this man invention is getting paid, or someone's getting paid off of his invention. The refrigerator that's in all of our homes, the man who invented that, same situation,
Mm-hmm.
died damn near broke. So the thing that I'm getting at, we made all these contributions, but how is it that for the majority, the inventors are stone goddamn broke, or Only thing we know about them is their name and what they invented. Like the traffic light alone is on pretty much every damn continent in this world that's supposed to be civilized. So you want us to be grateful for a month when everything we've contributed, not only to this nation, but to the world, we're supposed to be satisfied with that because you gave us a month. It's almost laughable. Because here's my thing, right? So the first thing Joe Biden does when he gets in office is he gives, and not picking on a certain group of people, but let's say people across the water. He writes a bill that says, if you attack these people, you're gonna get a heavy damn sentence, or whatever the fuck he gave them. Meaning, if you hurt one of these people, then your ass is going to jail, in essence. So we've been going through all this BS for how many years? And this motherfucker ain't write no bill for us? Now that's just something to think about. We've been going through so much for so many years as a group of people, and he basically comes in and says, we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that. We're gonna make your lives better. But the first thing you do is you do something for someone other than us. And then you give us this little bullshit ass so-called holiday? One day. Wow, I'm impressed.
What holiday did he give us?
Was it Juneteenth?
That happened under Trump.
I don't think so.
If I remember correct, I don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on
that. But I'm saying that to say, when you come talking about, well, give them a month as recognition for all the things they've done, why don't you give everybody a month? We're not the only ones to contribute it, right?
So, my first question for you is,
all right.
You said the only thing that we know about these inventors is their name and what they invented. But I guess my question is, whose responsibility is it for us to know more about those people?
It's our responsibility.
Okay. Because if we don't care to look up or research the accomplishments of our people, that's our fault. That's nobody else's fault. We can't blame nobody else for that. Because it's our responsibility to uphold our own history. It's our responsibility. And that is an issue that I have personally with my family and all of our families, because it's not their job to document our history, it's ours. It has been our responsibility ever since we had the means to document our history and share our history and pass it down from generation to generation. Again, like I said, I only know one grandparent, and that's my mother's mother. I don't know any other grandparent. So, whose fault is that? That's my mother's fault. That's my family's fault. And you take that back generation, and you say, Don't you find it strange that they can document their history, but we can't? No, I don't find it strange. Look at the bullshit that we have handed to us in our generation. I can't go far back in my family, so I can't document too much history. You and I probably have important people in our bloodline, but we will never know because nobody gave two shits about passing these stories down. I have a problem with that more than people saying, oh, y'all are black, y'all are African American. I have a bigger problem with that because that directly links us to our past.
So let me ask you this then. With census, right? You know, they've been taking census for quite some time now.
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly, we can find out more about our history by going through census, meaning going back to your birthplace or the place that your parents may have been born and going through census. But here's my thing. Even with census records, right? Supposedly, you know, courthouse fire happened and all the supposedly black people, y'all shit got burned up. Y'all shit got burned up, but everybody else got their shit. So, you know, boo-hoo. I just find it, again, I have nothing but contempt for this so-called system and telling us that we are someone other than who they truly know who we are. If you go back to, and I know you hate Trump, but there was a news, no, let me take this back. There was a Senate hearing where this man was basically brought in front of this panel, and they were asking him about his business dealings. And you can look it up; it's still on the web somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But they were asking him about basically Indians,
Mm-hmm.
and he flat out told them, "Those don't look like Indians to me. Do they look like Indians to you?"
I wouldn't take his word for shit. He's a jackass. He's a damn dingbat. He's the same person. He's the same person that said put bleach in your body to get rid of COVID. Come on, are you serious right now? Come on, man.
Man.
Come on now. Him of all people.
So you're looking at the messenger. You're not looking at the message.
I cannot accept the message from that messenger when he has said so much felonious BS. Like seriously.
I'm not a Trump fan.
I'm not a Trump fan either. I don't hate the dude, but if I listen to all of the stuff that he says and 3/4 of it is BS, if he say, "Oh, they don't look like Indians," I'm not going to take him seriously. He can barely manage his life.
But yeah, still he became president.
That's because that's the way people wanted to vote or whatever the case may be. That has nothing to do with him saying, "Oh, they don't look Indian." Do you know where Trump's family is from?
As far as I know, New York, somewhere around there.
No, his family is German. They are German Americans.
Oh, okay.
They can trace their family back. So when you talk about, I've never heard of tracing your family back through the census. I've never looked into that, never researched it or whatever the case may be. And you mentioned several times in other podcasts about, you know, court records being burnt up, this, that, and the other, and boo-hoo to us and this, that, and the other. But again, at the end of the day, a lot of these families who can trace their lineage back are not tracing them through the court. They actually have family books, family albums, family whatever those books are that they have every family member in them. They have those. We don't. So when you talk about the court, yes, we supposed to put this in the court and document this, that, and the other. Oh, you know what? The courthouse burnt up. Of course it burnt up because they called us black, they called us niggas, they called us African Americans, they called us colored. They said, get the hell out of this country. I'm not surprised if our stuff got burnt up in a court. I'm not surprised if they burnt our houses down and we lost this, that, and the other. What pisses me off about it is we are a generation, you and I, we are in a generation that did not get too much passed down to us from the people responsible for passing it down to us. The court is not responsible. The government is not responsible for our family history. It's not. When I sit my sons down and say, hey, this is your cousin, this is your aunt, this is your uncle, this is your grandmother, this is your niece, this is your nephew. That's all I got. Because that's all was given to me, and that's all I know. I can't go to the court and say, hey, who is my great-great-great-grandfather? They're going to look at me like, the fuck? What do you mean? They're going to be like, you don't even know who your father is for sure. I don't even know who my father is for sure. So it's not the system. It's not the government. It's not the white people. It's our people. That's it. Do they have a hand in destroying records or breaking our families up from, however many years back? Yes, they do. But at the same time, a long time ago, back in those days, we did not have the means to keep family records like they did. So no, I'm not surprised at all.
So you said the oldest member of your family is who now?
I don't know who
living.
I don't know who the oldest living and I'm glad you asked that way. I honestly do not know who the oldest living family member is on my mother's side or my father's side. Biologically, I can say my mother is, because my mother is the oldest of all her siblings. I don't know any aunts that she have, really. I don't know any uncles that she has, really. I have family in Florida, but I really don't know where they are placed in my family tree. As far as my father's side, whoever he really is, far as I know, he has 2 living brothers. Outside of that, I don't know none of their cousins. I don't know none of their nieces. I don't know none of their nephews. I can't blame that on the government. I can't blame that on the system. I have to blame that on them because they did not provide this information to me. The other thing that I will say about that is I, of conscious mind, met them in 2007 when my father died. They all knew me. I didn't know them. I can't blame that on the court. I can't blame that on nobody but them.
Good point. Very good point. So with this bit of knowledge that you have, meaning you can't say specifically who's related and what position they're related.
Mm-hmm.
So have you ever thought about trying to run down what information is available and then go from there?
So I have started my family tree on ancestry.com a long time ago. And I hit that roadblock. I just recently ordered a DNA kit from ancestry.com, so I'm gonna do that. Other than that, I'm gonna hit my uncle up. That's my mother's brother, and I'm gonna start probing him because it's like, honestly, I think this is fucking bananas. It's bananas that I don't have a family tree like that I know of. Like I don't know. And again, when you look at Black History Month and you look at what it mean or what it should mean to every one of us, we have to sit back and be like, damn, what other pieces are we missing because we were not given this information? And neither one of us can pick up a book, go to the Library of Congress, search the internet or anything and say concretely, well, damn, I come from this bloodline. Or you know what? I'm related to this famous person who did this. Or I'm related to this person who was a runaway slave. None of us can say that. None of us. Well, not gonna say none of us. Like you and I can't really say all of that. I mean, and again, when it comes to Black History Month, it's like you give us a month, I appreciate it. Well, and let me back up because they did not give us a month. This is not something that they gave us. This is something that people before us put in the works, and this is why we have it. The government didn't say, "Hey, we're going to give you Black History Month." That's not what happened.
Interesting. Um, Here's my thing, right? Again, we have a long and vast history within this nation.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said and being known, some people are still saying, "How come I ain't got my check yet?"
I don't know why.
I'm at the point where I'm like, if that's what you think you're gonna get, then all means, please keep hitting your head against the wall. I hope you get it. Because there's no way in hell everybody else got their check, but you still ain't got your check. The same shit that was going on way back in the day is still going on here to today. They're not using trees anymore. They just using people in blue suits who call themselves want to be law abiding, but they're getting away with murder left and right. So the point that I'm making here is there are so many things that we're owed that we haven't gotten the first thing yet. But it's like when you give me crumbs and you tell me just be happy with the crumbs, I disagree with you. So giving me a Black History Month, again, I feel like that's a crumb compared to what you actually owe people of my kind. Yeah, it's all well and good that, we can highlight some of the accomplishment that we as people have made over the years. But again, it's kind of like when I hear people say, well, we've come so far. Have we? Because the same laws that were in effect back then are still damn near in effect here to this day. So while people are up here marching and preaching and praying and who knows what else, the laws still haven't been changed. So, no, I'm not happy with your crumbs. That's all I gotta say about it.
And on that note, we shall return. Because I have to, I gotta respond. Hey, it's the King and Our Life podcast. Hey, you know how to get up with us. Again, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, share the bell notification, comment. We would love to have your feedback, especially on a topic like this. And if you're listening to the audio version, you know, on whatever podcast platform that you're on, make sure you just, you know, share it. Senso Lex, what you got before we cut out?
Of course, you guys, we're still waiting on more information about the Purple Gala. But again, as soon as we get that, we got y'all. So stay tuned.
Yeah.